Hi everybody, welcome to G4G on YouTube. I am your host, Napalm Dawn. Today we're here in Marvel Future Fight taking a look at the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 update. I was hoping you guys were hoping that I would do this. And I know I'm a day or two late, but there's been a lot of other stuff going on in games, including the Quake Champions beta, the Necro beta for Diablo 3, which I haven't done yet. HOTS has had a whole bunch of stuff. It's just been a busy week or so for content. Paladins had a new character recently. Aside from HOTS 2.0 dropping, we had Genji. So yeah, but hey, I'm here. I'm finally getting around to doing this. So, first thing wanted to do is give a shout out to the members of the AP family. As the Adamantium process was known for having some very high level people back in the days of Marvel Avengers Alliance, and they continue to do so in Marvel Future Fight. So here we have Agent Venom in his symbiote suit, looking jacked as shit. I mean, it's less like Agent Venom or AgV as we used to call him back in the day of MAA, and more like fucking Venom on steroids. It's like Venom Lesnar, Brock Venom over here. Supposedly this is definitely one of the best things about this particular patch. So, before I get into the new stuff, wanted to kind of give you an idea of where my T2s stand now, because we haven't looked at them for a while. So, Sharog is restricted this week. She is not in my PvP team, so Doctor Strange is leading, along with Angry Elsa and Carnage. So, still got Ultron, who probably would be somebody I would take back T2ing. However, he served his purpose early on, and it's kind of easy to T2 him because there's so many missions to get his BIOS. Floki, Captain Marvel with her attractive suit compared to the short hair shit. Doctor Strange, some people call him Hobo Iron Fist, I call him Netflix Iron Fist, which I am in the middle of watching. It's okay. I don't dislike it as much as other people. I'm still okay with Netflix's Iron Fist. Chanty, Blackbuster, Yellow Jacket, Werewolf, third suit Elsa, or second additional suit Elsa. First uniform Silk, Prox, Carnage, uniform Moon Knight, now uniform Sharog. So while we're here, let's take a look at her. So, she changes the lance up for a gun, and the shield becomes holographic and acts as a Samsung Gear VR. A lot of changes have occurred to her. I am surprised that mine is this high in rank. I really am, because I don't think of my Sharog as this good, and Sharog is a very, very popular character. So to know that she's 4 digits is amazing, but it likes my skills, my gear, mostly my equipped ISO, really likes my custom gear, my Uru shit, my cards it likes, I'm surprised, and the uniform, of course, is going to be shit kind of brand new. There is, well, first of all, I mean, I like the looks of original Sharog better. This kind of reminds me of like Zarya from Overwatch, or Sonya from Heroes of the Storm, but there has been a little bit of a split in the community when it comes to Sharog. One of the first things is that people say that she is weaker, but a lot of people say that she's not weaker, she's just different. So as we all know, she had an immunity, and she had 2 really good AoE skills. And, you know, you can often immunity into a really nice chain before the immunity ran out, and kite a little bit if your cards are crap, or your cooldown for immunity would be up. So here's what she's got now. This is now her immunity, which in a way is almost a little bit easier to take note of, because of the fact is she gets this big shield in front. So you see the shield and you're like, okay, there's the immunity. Now, 5 and 4 of course were her two big ones in her original uniform. So first of all, so some people like to call her side boob. Let's zoom in a little bit. I mean, we get some, not the most amount of side boob ever, but, you know, some. So here's her new 5. So as you can see, it's a cluster in, and there is also a debuff with it. I think that is actually a little bit better. I mean, she jumps back, so if people are behind her, she might be taking hits. But there's a pretty decent debuff there. And here's her new 4. Which, hey, I mean, that's still some pretty good AoE there. Here's her 2-star. Which is definitely, looks like it's got some degree of an iframe there when she's up in the air. And that looks like it adds more, I mean, it looks like she gains AoE on this one, to be honest. Kind of almost Captain America-ish with the toss of the shield and the ricochet. So, immune, jump in. I mean, I kind of like 3, 5, 2 when it completes, and then 4 for the big sweep. And if you need to move while you're waiting for things to recharge, hit them with a shield swipe. So I don't think she's weaker. And I mean, there's a lot of damage block going on over there. I just think she's different. I think people got very, very used to her original setup and 2 very straightforward single target attacks and 2 very flashy AoE where it was very easy to figure out the AoE from it. I think this one you just have to trust in her a little bit more. So I've pulled Hawk's Eye on her a long time ago, and that's what I've kept it with. I mean, it's not the best. I mean, Power of an Angry Hulk, I'm sure, would be a little bit, or Overdrive even, would be a little bit more good for her. But you know what? It was an 8. It was an 8. Why not? I just decided to keep it. So, continuing along, Songbird. Kale is a recent addition to T2 to me, and I would have to thank JW for that. He was one of the ones that was pitching Mordo and Kale to me a long time ago. I still am getting used to him a little bit. He's not the most common character for me. Uniform Agent 1, who I absolutely love. Clea. My Ulik is in triple... I mean, he's now 78. This is hysterical. I think I'm the only one that built a tier 2 Ulik. I saw something in him with a crit build, and originally the Obelisk, before it got upgraded into a red, was a crit. And sadly, I lost crit on that, but I went crit hit points, and I pulled an invincible proc on it. He's good. I like him as the lead for combat villain days, but he's not the beast I thought he would be. I thought I saw something there. I went for it, you know, come hell or high water. I didn't care what people thought, and it sort of worked out, but not as much as I wanted. Kate. Kid Kaiju, the new speed hotness. My Corvus is getting there. I have Odin, and I lack Dormammu, and then my other 60s, Ant-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Destroyer, Ronin leading for Universals, Agent 13 leading for Cooldown, a capped out Coulson, And everything speaks for itself here. Now, here is Mr. Agent Venom that I basically used tickets on and got him instantly to 60, and then out of my 6,000 level 5 chips, I spent about 2,000 and got him instantly to 60 over here, and now can dump some bioselectors on him to T2. Taking a look at his skills, he has physical damage, Thorn Shield guards against 5 hits, Venom Frenzy applies to self, increases all attack by 6, speed, and critical rate, Venom Swing, and Symbiote Rage, which does a stun and does invincible. Fortunately, the stun and invincible have 3 seconds where they don't overlap. If you stun people for 5 and were invincible for 5, it's almost like, wow, I just stunned a whole bunch of people and they was invincible while they couldn't even attack me. But the fact that we get 3 extra seconds over here is pretty good. Tier 2 is Space Knight, which also increases the skill of Venom Frenzy, which is buffing his attacks and everything, and Sense of Duty. I pulled for his ISO Stark backing. I don't think I'm going to stick with Stark backing. I may roll another ISO set and see what I can do, but I will probably leave this. I don't want to totally trash it, but 20% of max hit. You know, he might be offensive enough that going a little bit defensive might be nice for him. So let's take a look at his skills. This is one of the big things that people are thrilled about. The Sharog costume, 50-50. There's some hype for it. There's some people detracting from it. However, Agent Venom, everybody is very excited about. And it's nice to see him powerful. Because if you remember in Marvel Avengers Alliance, he was okay. And when he was out of control, he was very strong. But it was too random. And if people could have gotten him to go out of control, in control, and control of the user, the player, I think he would have been liked more, but he never really amounted to that much. He gets his revenge here. So, there's his 3-star. So it's got some pulses. And there's the Thorn Shield, so there's his, I guess you could say, kind of invincible, a little bit like Silk. Fairly standard grip attack over here. It doesn't look like he brings anybody in with it. Well, no, there is a grab. There's a little bit of a hook there. Let's get him around people again. Yeah, there's a hook. So you could probably go invincible to that, get some hits in. Here's a big claw-based move. And let's go ahead and get him near. Let's see how AoE it is. A little bit of a knock-up there, too. That's pretty cool. Obviously, that kind of stuff doesn't work on a Frost Beast, but for Meteor Days, that'd be pretty decent. So this is probably going to be one of the biggest hitters over here, is his 4. And it gets him up off the ground. And there's Symbiote. Wow. That is fancy shit right there. And he's invincible for it. Yeah. That's... this is clearly why people want him. I wonder if he's probably not going to count as a villain, though. That's my guess, is that he won't be available for Combat Villain Day. Combat, yeah, okay, so he's a superhero. And he's got some decent synergy. He's got some synergy with Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, regular Venom, and a few others. I don't recall if they were particularly good bonuses, but I know they're about what you would expect from him. So moving on, White Tiger, Gwenpool, who I actually just got Gwenpool and MCC today. Hela, which I think I do want a T2 Hela at some point. I don't know if she's particularly T2 worthy, but I kind of like playing Hela, and I almost like her. I actually do like her more than Clea. Kid Nerd Bucket over here, Moon Girl. There was some hype around her for a little while, but it seems to have faded off. There's my Agvi, Quake, Tom Selleck, Amadeus Cho. There's my Mordo. I was working on Mordo for a bit. I was generally doing his memory mission every day. I sort of stopped when I was aiming at Kid Kaiju and a few others. I will come back around to Mordo. Wasp, who everybody loves for countering Doctor Strange and Alliance tournaments. My Robbie Reyes is within 6 of being a 6-star. New uniform Elektra. This is another one that has gained her some popularity. She looks a little bit like Silk, but she has got some good shit going on now. Now, she's not really part of this patch, but she was part of a minor one recently. And I had her out on a villain siege one day, and her 5 and her 4 just did so much damage. Unfortunately, we don't see the damage numbers here, but like the scrolling combat text that popped off of those two moves. I mean, I felt like those old Maxell tape commercials from the 80s where the guy's in the chair and he's just kind of getting blown back by the music. That's how I felt. I was like, holy shit, who pissed in Elektra's Cheerios this morning? That was... like, my Elektra's nowhere. I mean, I haven't touched her in a long time. She was kind of an original character that I had started pushing up. As you can see, I never rolled an ISO set for her. She's got some skill upgrades, a shitty obelisk, and shitty ISOs and everything. But, yeah, very surprised. So we have Baby Groot as a uniform, which switches him from combat to speed. The general consensus is that, while being absolutely adorable, is that switching Groot to speed helps on some speed days if you don't have a good Kid Kaiju. So his healing puddles that he drops tends to be very good for other speed people, and it's been said that he gives Kate Bishop the sustain that she needs on speed days. Now, Groot is somebody I've always been working on in the background. A lot of people have recommended it. I'm shit about riffs. I need to do more riffs than I really do. And that's one of the weak spots of my game right now. So I just haven't upped my Groot as much as I can. So, as you can see here, he drops some flowers. Kind of like Carnage, you can run over them. And it probably creates a heal over there. Very interesting Vine Whip move. Might be a few iframes in there. That's cool. That looks like the March of the Ents from the Lord of the Rings movies. Tear down the dam. That's cool. I like that. It probably gets him out of a lot of trouble, too. Damn. That's funny to see him off balance after that, but... that is 63 hits off of 5 mobs over there. 70 hits off of 5 mobs. That is an offensive frenzy I don't think we would have thought Groot capable of. And that's his rocket summons over here. Similar to the way Cap summons Winter Soldier and everything. So we'll take a look at his new skills. I mean, the good thing is you don't have to leave him as speed. If you need him for his combat, much like Kingpin and Kingpin, Blast Pin, or Bling Pin and everything like that. Just, hey, you know, switch the uniform. So, Growth Spurt, Root Swipe, there's a Bind in there. Blossoming Sprout, theirs recovers 2% of your max hit points. Of course, this will probably go up as you level the skills, obviously. Activation, when dead, apply to self, revive with a 50% max hit point heal. That's pretty cool. Troublemaker, we are Groot, that was the rocket summon there. And all allies recover by 3% of their maximum hit points. He has a T2 of Bloom, more recovery, and I am Groot. I am Groot. Applies to speed types, increases physical defense. So that also is where he could help Kate, is that he lessens the damage coming in and he can help heal it. I can't say what I think is the best set. Maybe he would probably be really good with Stark backing and a good recovery rate Obelisk. That'd probably be quite helpful for him. And then we got to get over to Mantis, and then we'll take a look at what's in the uniform store. So She-Hulk is another one that I've been working on. I know she's got some good leadership and everything. Here is kind of the rest of my roster. There's a Star-Lord that I might get his uniform for. I've got the crystals for it. It's probably going to be a wise investment. So I don't have Whiplash yet. The bird. This is the bird. It's the bird you wanted. So here is Mantis. I've begun to hear some very good things about her. A lot of people are saying that there definitely seems to be iframes with her, if not partial. Bursting Buds, Energy Attack, Back Leap, Energy and Physical. Sensing Danger, dodge rate up by 5% for 20 seconds. Wow, that's long. Up for 20, down for 10. That's pretty good. Self-healing, when her hit points are below 90%, apply to self. Recovers 5% max hit points. Energy Sawtooth. Psychomancy, applies to enemies of fear. All allies get a crit rate. Celestial Madonna. And a leadership of Inspiration, decreased debuff duration. So like an anti-enchantress. She's another one where perhaps Stark backing would be good, just to have that almost Ancient One level sustain. I mean, Groot and Ancient One I think are probably going to be the best healers in the game, especially for groups. I mean, Ao's bubble is lovely. But let's take a look at her skills. Probably need to be... Let's get a little closer here. So that's probably a little bit of a grip there. Let's see, closer to people. No, she doesn't move them. It looks like they get drawn into her a little bit, but that's just the animations. Wow, how Star Wars looking is that? My God. Kind of reminds me of when Yoda is fighting the Emperor in the Senate. And he's like jumping from all the seats and everything. That's pretty cool. That's probably the fear right there. Let's get around another group of people. Yeah, she's definitely got, maybe not on the 2, and that might, since that's a little bit of a charge, that might get her in trouble. But I think she definitely does have quite a few iframes in there. And then the last thing we'll do is take a look at Whiplash. Basically what I'm hearing about Whiplash is people want him for his leadership, but that's really about it. I've not heard a lot of hype about him in actual combat. So here's Whiplash. Haven't done anything towards him yet. Looks just like he did in Iron Man 2. A leadership of decreasing skill cooldown, and he's for a blaster, so it's kind of like what Agent 13 does for speed. Increased damage dealt by 80% from skills to machine types. Yay, he's gonna smack around Ultron, oh boy. Apply to self lightning damage, ignore target dodge rate, increase skill damage. Lightning physical, a bind. Apply to enemies a 1-second stun, and to self a 100% chance to penetrate immunities. That could be good, so that could be another Wasp-ish answer to several people in arena battles. Lightning damage, lightning damage. So clearly he's going to get a lightning damage obelisk. He works with a couple of machine types. So we'll take a look at his skills, and then we'll take a look at what's on sale in the store, and then we'll wrap up the video. Ah, single target. That might be dangerous if he's not invincible in that. Let's see how that works out. Well, no, things do stop. I was wondering if that would be the case. And then there's a little bit of a grip at the end. Not really fond of that ability. There's the bind. So let's see if we can go from a bind right into a shock. So bind to pull everybody in, the 3 to push everybody out. There's his high voltage. Let's see how he is among a group of people. Not too much AoE there or anything. So this move reminds me a lot of one of the Eddies from Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast, the default Eddie. This looks like his ultimate. You know, he might be okay. I think he might need an invincibility obelisk in there. With maybe a plus damage proc or something, or like invincible lightning, if possible. But, yeah, probably not the most attractive thing about this patch. I think of the new characters, definitely Agent Venom is one of the ones that you're going to want to get. Mantis, clearly. After that, I think you can maybe be a little bit more casual on Whiplash and not necessarily run out and get him. But then again, if you have the bios per day, or you're in an alliance where if you go to the store and you have the bios per day if you've been donating, that might be a good way to just unlock them and then maybe build later on. I don't think he is a super top priority. So looking at the uniform store, I've already bought the Sharog one, and I have the Groot one, so they're not available. We have the Rocket Raccoon one over here. And honestly, like, I forgot that this uniform was in the game, because you rarely ever see Rocket anywhere, and if I do, he's always stock Rocket. Hit point recovery, yeah, I don't know. Gamora gets ignore defense. There was some hype on this one. A lot of people are interested in it. This is the Gamora that I have, what I like to call the Cosmic Gamora. I just love this effect so much. I almost don't want to get the new uniform. Or if I do, not equip it because I just love staring at this. I think it is just cool as shit. And of course, the new Star-Lord uniform, which says enhances the skill of Legendary Outlaw, and he gets a couple of ability changes. I do believe I'll get this one. I've heard some good things about the suit. And in all honesty, if you can afford the suits, you should get them because they may come around to bite you in the ass when you're upgrading somebody else's uniform. And it's like, oh damn, that was $750 a day ago and now it's full price and I need it. So in the shop, the 1-year anniversary package has now become a 2-year anniversary package. So we have the T2 Mega Pack of a T2 Mega Advancement Ticket, which means somebody goes right from 1 to Tier 2 instantly. I used one of those on Enchantress a long time ago. Also, a 6-star Mega Rank and a 6-star Mastery Rank, which takes somebody from 1 to 6 instantly. The 1-year anniversary pack, as I said, is up to 2. 11k crystals, a 250 Bio Selector, 300 Nornstone Selector, 1,000 BAM, and 1,200 Rainbow Stones. 1,000 BAM is pretty cool. If you're still building some native T2s, that's handy, but that's expensive. I mean, that's $90. We also have a 2-shot Whiplash pack and a 2-shot Mantis pack. I probably will never spend anything on a Whiplash pack. I may find myself getting at least one of the Mantis packs, to be honest. I recently renewed my Tony Stark thing, so that's going to be running for a while. We also have this new UI, which, you know, to be honest, I like. It's, some people are saying it's like cheesy 80s goodness, like 80s, like some movie that would have like a synthwave soundtrack and everything. I'm okay with it. I think it looks pretty crisp. Now, one of my issues is that on a particularly good tablet of mine, a Nexus 9, this was really running like shit yesterday, and normally this game looks beautiful on my Nexus 9. I'm going to give it a go on my Shield. It might have just been that the 9 might have needed a reboot and its caches were getting a little full, but I really hope the game is not just overly graphicked out and performing shitty, because the Nexus 9 is a good device. It is a good gaming device. It's pretty graphically, and hopefully this gets back up to speed. But it's, as you can see here in my Android emulator, which is Nox, it's not been performing too bad. So we have Alliance Conquest now, which has been added. And there is now also the Advanced World Bosses. Ultimate World Boss Mode. So Proxima is coming in 13 hours, but we are looking at Black Dwarf. People are getting up to about 3. Some people are getting into the 4. I got Diddly Squad. I did not do too well against Black Dwarf when I tried. I'm hoping that Proxima, just like World Boss Mode, is going to be a little bit easier. And I'll get my feet wet over there and give it a shot. We've also got this ranking. Best rank, AO, Werewolf, and Doctor Strange got up to phase 4. My rank, hot diggity shit. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. If there's anything else you want to talk about for the update, let me know. I didn't... Strange. Oh, it must be still left over from... Oh. Never mind, that's something else. Very interesting. Those buffs just appeared. So, remember guys, if you're doing... If you're sitting here and you're doing the World Boss events, the WBIs, hit the goddamn button, people. And also try to do what's active for the quest. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this update here on the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 update on the game. If you guys have seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, let us know your thoughts below without any spoilers, of course. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.